Hey, this is Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach, and I'm so excited that you got this webinar on how to produce 5.7 referrals. To me, this is part of the Monster Growth System, and we teach that as part of the entire growth system: activation of prey drive, explanation of service, legacy selling system, $1 Million follow-up, how to extract 5.7 referrals, and ultimately how you become a person of interest. So in this webinar, I'm going to teach you the tactics and strategies that's taken me 18 years to learn. You may be thinking that getting referrals is hard. You may think, how could I get 125 referrals in 90 days? You may not understand the psychology behind a referral. You may be thinking, man, if I could just get 3 referrals out of every current client that I have, my business would go to a completely new level. Well, good news. I'm going to show you how to do that today in this webinar. The first step is to understand the psychology of a referral. I like giving things a definition. A referral is when great people tell other great people how great you were, right? Think of the last time you had a great experience and it was such a wow experience, you had to go tell other people. For example, I'm doing a boot camp this week at my lodge, and my ultimate goal is to take the 50 people that come, make it such a transformational experience. Notice the word transformation, that it truly moves the needle, a statistic in their life, that they go bring me 3 people apiece for my next boot camp. So we turn 50 people into 150 people. Where there's no engagement or connection to a person or product or service, there can be no transformation. And where there's no transformation, there is nothing to talk about. I really want you to understand this concept. Where there's no engagement, I want you to begin associating the word engagement with referrals. You see, I tell people I don't believe in customer service. I believe in customer engagement. Engagement is when you are actively engaging with the client. You are bringing them not only the product, that service, you're bringing them your emotional support. You're also introducing them to new people, a new opportunity. There is engagement. You are in the transformation business. The word transact means to discard. Transaction means I used your product or service and I don't need you anymore. I discarded you. Most people run transactional businesses. There's an exchange of money for value, but that exchange is not significant enough for a person to go and recruit other people. That's what recruiting is. As I'm breaking this down, I'm thinking about one of my favorite verses in the Bible, and it is Jesus. I call it Jesus, 12 disciples, 2 women, and a business manager. And they are walking from city to city, spreading the gospel and supporting the mission, right? Supporting the mission of Jesus. And at the end of that verse, it says, and many others. That means there's Jesus, the 12 disciples, 2 women, and then it says at the end of the verse, and many others who were contributing from their own resources to support the disciples. Now, I circled that, and I thought deeply about it, and I said, man, that's a referral. Contributing from your own resources. What resources? Money, time, energy, reputation, social media. You're contributing from your own resources to support another person's mission. What would have to happen for your clients to contribute from their own resources to support you? What would have to happen for them to give their time, their energy, their money, their social media, their following to support you? Transformation, not transaction. There are 4 types of customers. A passive, which is considered a lukewarm. You barely deliver the goods for this person. Then there's what's called the promoter, and the promoter says positive things about you when they're solicited. You delivered on what you promised, but you didn't go above and beyond. Then there's what's called the detractor. This is where there is a strong dislike for the experience. And trust me, they will go tell other people they didn't like it. I had a restaurant the other night that was owned by 3 famous people. And I walked out of the restaurant and I said everything was good except the food. Every person at dinner with me had a bad experience with the food. It's like the steaks were bad, the crab cakes were bad, this was bad, everything was bad. The waiter was nice. The environment was good. The music was good. The customer service was good. Everything was good except the food. Here's the problem. We went there to eat dinner. So we walked out of there and I said, man, never go to that restaurant. Never. Here's the funny thing. I asked a gentleman that had gone there before what he thought about the restaurant. And he said, I don't want to say anything bad, but they were new and it just wasn't very good, Coach. Well, guess what? 3 months later, it wasn't any good. That's a detractor. I'm telling other people not to go. But what if I went to that restaurant and it was so good and so intriguing and so powerful that I said, when you go to a steakhouse in Nashville, this is the only place you got to go, right? Which is how I feel about Jeff Ruby's. If you're going to go to a steakhouse, you go to Kane Prime or Jeff Ruby's, right? This is what an advocate is. They fight for you in the market. What happened? Something was transformed. So here's the psychology of advocacy. We reward effort. We reward extra effort. We reward understanding the language of the customer. We fight for people who fight for us. During high times, during low times, during unusual times. You see, a lot of people think the value of a customer is what the customer will actually pay. There's so much more value to each customer. No matter what the customer pays, the real value of the customer is how many more people will they go tell about you? How many more referrals will they go get for you? If they get in the room, if they experience your product, they experience your service. How strong is it if they go get you 10 more people? That's what we're looking for. The key to the many is to the one. This is very hard to make employees understand. This is very hard to make people that work there understand, is that each person, if worked correctly and engaged with at the highest level, goes and fights for you in the market. They exert their influence for you. This is what we're looking for in a referral. This is the psychology of a referral, okay? Now, here's what I would tell you. It's a jungle out there. Everybody's fighting for customers. What a person wants from you is your emotional support. You check up on them. Your mental support. You offer knowledge. Your physical support. I'm here for you. And your spiritual support. I believe in you. Think of a company right now that provides these 4 things for you. Emotional support, mental support, physical support, spiritual support. I use the example of my real estate company that I use. They routinely call and thank me for my business. They take me to breakfast and lunch and dinner. They connect me to new opportunity. They send people to my coaching programs. They emotionally support me, mentally support me, physically support me, spiritually support me. This is why I advocate for them. This is why I just helped them show a house for $2 million in Nashville, right? That's a commission. Advocating for people. Now, here's the frequency I want you to understand. An object at rest will stay at rest unless acted on by an outside force. When I don't hear from you, I don't think about you. We must stay connected. The breakdown of connection is when we lose frequency with each other. When I don't think about you, I don't talk about you. When I don't hear from you, I don't think about you. When I lose connection to you, right? Like you're probably thinking, man, this sounds awfully hard. It is. We service over 1,000 clients a month. Staying connected to these people. This is why I wrote the book, The Accountable Church. It's about how do you stay connected to large numbers of people? How do you build a dynamic experience? How do you get referrals? How do you get 100 or 200 people each time? You got to go back to the basics of engagement. How do you make people feel? Do they feel good when they walk in your culture? Like I have a rule in my culture. When people come to the Greatness Factory, I want all of my people to stand up and walk over and meet and greet those people. I have to remind my team members every time. Like make them feel important. They're at the Greatness Factory, right? Follow up with them, engage with them. So when you think about it, the sales cycle is broken down in suspects. These are people that we believe could be good clients. We get their attention. We share explanation of value. We locate a significant problem. We offer a compelling solution. They then move to a prospect and they say, hey, I'm interested. Okay? I start asking for referrals at this level. Hey, if we do a good job for you, would you mind introducing me to other people? How can you make the introduction? Who can we help? The prospect becomes a client. The client, if done well, becomes a net promoter. Means they become a person that is promoting you. The net promoter then becomes what's called an advocate. And we have a name for that called the top 25, where you build 25 deep and meaningful relationships with key advocates. Those advocates fight for you in the market, offer emotional support, physical support, spiritual support, mental support. These 25 people push out to the market. But you got to win over those 25. In my experiences, most people have had less than 5 people. Now let me tell you some of my secrets. I believe that if I start with 5 and really build deep relationship with 5, then I get to 10, then I get to 15, then I get to 20, then I get to 25. If I stay engaged with those 25 people, if I stay at the top of those 25 people's minds, if I bring them emotional support, mental support, if I understand transformation, those 25 people can help me make $1 million more per year. Now, Kevin Kelly wrote an interesting article many years ago called 1,000 True Fans. And it was for artists. And I live outside of Nashville, and I love going down to Broadway and watching these young artists try to make it big. And he said that a starving artist could make $100,000 a year if they just had 1,000 true fans, right? And those 1,000 true fans just spent $10 on the artist. They bought one album. That artist can make $100,000 a year. And I thought about that. It's hard building 1,000 people on your side, right? But what if you had 25 stark, raving, crazy lunatics, right? What's the value of a customer again? Not just what they give you, but what are they willing to go fight for you? You see, I have no problem discounting my services at different times to get people in the room, because I know if I get them in the room, they're going to leave on fire for me. And no matter any amount of money I could have extracted from them, what I really want is them telling 10 other people about me. That's the value of a customer. So, here's what you need to understand. The consumer is always looking at you and asking themselves a very simple question. Are you an asset or are you a liability? Are you creating something for me? Are you subtracting something from me? Right? Assets are energy, creativity, money, cost savings, ideas, networks, relationships. If you can do these things for your customers, they're going to see you as an asset. Assets do what? They add. Liabilities subtract. By doing business with you, you cost time, you cost energy, you make them work hard, you bring a bad attitude, you make me feel worse about myself. These are liabilities. If your company moves too far over to one side, like I'm thinking in my mind right now about companies that it's just very hard to do business with them. My buddy Steve Sims would say there's a lot of friction. There's a low return on energy, right? You exert a lot of energy to do business with them and they just make it so darn hard. They cost you time. They cost you energy. They make you work hard. They have employees that have bad attitudes, right? That's a liability. The companies you work with that add energy, add time, add creativity, add cost savings, add networks, add relationship, these are assets. You keep doing business with these people. But more importantly, you refer people. See, we got to get the psychology of a referral. I'm only going to fight for you if I think you're fighting for me. I'm only going to tell people about you if you over-deliver. You're getting paid to deliver. It's when you go 2 miles, like in the Bible. One of my favorite sayings is when a man asks you to go 1 mile, you go 2 miles. Like, this is so hard in our world. We want to go the bare minimum. We don't go 2 miles, right? So when you're thinking about this referral, you got to teach your people. When a person does this, do this. For example, when a person buys one of my books, and I see that come across my email, I send them a video text message from me on a Saturday, on a Sunday, right? The other day I was sending them out when my daughter was in the creek on a Saturday. People order my book, I'd say, hey, this is Coach Burt. I just noticed you ordered my book, Single Digit Millionaire. Thank you. How many authors do that? That's the start of a good relationship. That's the start of a referral. So what are some touches that you could use? Because my goal for you from this webinar is to help you get 125 referrals in the next 90 days. Okay? What could you do to create 125 referrals in the next 90 days? You need to change the way you see your customers. You need to quit not talking to them. You need to actually engage with them more. You need to move a statistic in their life. You need to care about them as people. You need to introduce them to new people. So what are some value touches? I always say, always bring something to the relationship. Bring an idea. Sometimes I call people and say, man, I got an idea for you. Bring a gift. Bring a strategy. Bring a compliment. Bring support. Bring a network. Bring an introduction. Bring an offer. We create videos. We send those videos out to people. Hey, watch this video. Hey, be involved in this video, right? And when you're thinking about it, what I'm really doing is I'm bringing something to the equation. I'm bringing an energy. I'm bringing a strategy. Never go to a meeting alone. So here's the concepts. Number one, I think you need weekly touches to your tribe of people. We send out an email on Sunday that says you've got monster mail. We do a accountability session every Monday. I send a strategy out every Wednesday. I put videos in the private Facebook group almost every single day. We pump out podcasts for people to go. We have long form version, boot camps. See, what I'm trying to do is create a structure to push people to in the future. I've never gone wrong by inviting people to my lodge or my house in Florida or to the Greatness Factor. When people get there, they get excited. And when they get excited, guess what they want to go do? They want to go tell other people. They want to go refer. They want to go recruit. Referrals are about recruiting. You don't need more money. You need more people, right? And so I think I'm a big believer in creating structures to push people to in the future, creating intimate experiences that bond and cement relationships. Okay? I'm a big believer that gifting without authenticity, people that gift without authenticity are seen as manipulators. I'm a big believer that gifting with authenticity equals relationships and referrals. So when you're thinking about this concept, I see some people that think they can win people over by giving them gifts. Well, if I don't think you care about me as a person, right, then what does the gift matter? Like yesterday, I got a cool Louis Vuitton wallet that one of our clients sent me. Okay, that was a nice gesture. I've never gotten a Louis Vuitton, right? At the same time, a person sent me some brownies, then a person sent me a book. I've had people send me all kinds of things. If I think those people are just sending me gifts to manipulate me, then they don't mean anything, no matter at how expensive they are. But if a person is sending me something with a thank you, with a gratitude, with an appreciation, now I'm thinking about them. But no matter how good the gift is, I forget about them. If they don't stay in my face, you need high touch, you need high frequency. Now, let me show you one other tactic and strategy that I use to optimize referrals. And I really want you to understand this concept is each transaction you do, the word transact means to discard, each transformation you have with the client should be worth up to 5.7 referrals. Okay? So take one relationship, just one, work that relationship at a very high frequency. And if you do a great job with that relationship, they're going to introduce you to another relationship, except they may introduce you to 10 relationships or a team of people. What if those people introduce you to 100 relationships? Those people introduce you to 1,000 relationships. Those people introduce you to 5,000 relationships. What if I told you that through one relationship I made $1 million? You see, that one person introduced me on a stage to 10,000 new people. I am still getting business from that one relationship. Each relationship should be worth 5.7 referrals. But here's the problem. 98% of people never engage with the client after they sell them the service. So, what should you be doing as a result of this course? Here's your homework. Number one, I want you to start building out your top 25 advocates. An advocate is someone who can and will refer you to other people. They have a referral capacity. This does not have to be a current client, but rather someone who can and will promote you. They could be a strategic partner. They could be a past client. They could be a good friend. Many will come from you being a transformative figure in their life. With these 25 people, I want you to touch 3 of those people every single day. I want you to have quarterly events to invite these people to. I want you to always be there at the high moments of people's lives and the low moments of people's lives. I want you to work to create intimate social experiences, concerts, dinners, special events, right? Okay. Then I want you to build out a connection after the sale experience. We believe day of celebration, 2 days after touch, 2 weeks after, 2 months after, and then cycle your people into these events, what I call these structures of exchange, okay? Just remember, the connection after the sale is absolutely everything. Now, here's the ultimate challenge I want to finish with. I want you to try to get 125 referrals in the next 90 days. And here's how you're going to do it. You're going to build out your 25 list of 25 influencers, people you love. You're going to increase your engagement. You're going to create something in the future to invite these people to. Okay? An event, something. You're going to call your top 25 and you're going to say, hey, I want you to bring 5 people with you to this event. And you're going to stay on those people until they bring you 5 people. Now, you may not get 125 new people, but you may. What if you get 90? What if you get 80? What if you get 50? Remember the concept of a referral. It's when great people go tell other great people how great you are. You have transformed my life. Therefore, I'd like to share my networks with you. Remember this, like gravitates toward like. Association breeds assimilation. And people don't remember what you did last week. You got to remind them of the value. I don't believe in customer service. I believe in customer engagement. This has been how to get 5.7 referrals out of every transaction. The word transaction means to discard. Change your mind about referrals, folks. Get the whole Monster Growth System. I want to challenge you. This is one part of a bigger system. Get the webinar on how to activate Pray Drive. Get the webinar on how to explain your services. Get the webinar on legacy selling, $1 Million Follow-Up. This webinar. Get the one on person of interest. Get the whole system, because the whole system teaches you. If you just got this one part right, the referral piece, man, your business will grow exponentially. It's literally that easy. I'm Coach Michael Burt. Thank you for joining the webinar, how to get 5.7 referrals, how to build out your top 25, and how to build a referral machine.